Hyundai has taken its flagship three-row family SUV and turned it into a more off-road family SUV. This is the 2026 Hyundai Palisade XRT Pro. All new for 2026, new design and new trim. I think the XRT is going to be a very attractive trim to a lot of you out there because it combines that off-road warriorness with some of that luxury that we're sort of used to expecting from Hyundai. And this is the least boring trim of the Palisade that you can buy. So I have a feeling we will see quite a bit of these out on the road. And I've been able to spend my entire week with it. So I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm going to review it. I'm going to give you my thoughts. I'm going to give you a tour and just give you as much information on this new 2026 Palisade as I possibly can. So let's get right into it. So if you take a look under the hood for this Palisade XRT Pro, you're going to find a 3.6 liter V6 engine producing 287 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. That's not bad, and I actually like seeing the V6 make a return. Although, it doesn't have a crazy horsepower number, I think these numbers are, okay for what the Palisade needs to do. It also comes paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission. It has that H-Track all-wheel drive, and yeah, it can tow up to 5,000 pounds. Not too shabby. All right, so next up, we're taking a look at the exterior for our Palisade XRT Pro. I gotta say, this is kind of the most off-roady trail area that I could find, and the XRT Pro looks really, really good. It looks in its element. So I think in terms of ruggedness and overall looks, Hyundai have done a good job. But let's get a little closer and examine some things. So we do have the nice tow hooks right in front, nice and orange. I do like that. We do have nice daytime running LEDs as well here, and you've got this nice bar that comes right across. I like this whole new front fascia. It looks really, really good. It looks a little bit more premium and kind of rugged at the same time. I really do appreciate how Hyundai has been able to kind of blend both worlds very, very nicely here. Onto the side profile, you do have these pretty cool looking rims with the XRT badge right there. I do like these rims, and it's got like a slight factory lift. I think it's a 1-inch lift or something like that. It's not crazy, and it's not that much, but sometimes a little bit makes a lot of a difference. So that is pretty good news there. Side profile wise, I love this kind of matte brown paint color that we have. It's a paint color that I otherwise probably would never choose unless I saw it in person. And now that I'm seeing it in person, this is really, really nice. My wife absolutely loves it as well. I love this little XRT badge here on the side for the door. You can see we have the roof rails here as well. The tinted rear windows, the tinted back is very nice. And you can kind of get a little view of some of the suspension and stuff like that going on over there. So pretty nice. Onto the back though, I really like this back area. There's no digital rear view camera or rear view mirror camera. There is of course a digital rear view camera. I think now it's required by law, so that's obviously there. Parking sensors are here as well. It's got a full 360, does this Palisade, so that's very nice. You got the Palisade logo, kind of like the one last year, very nice. But I love these taillights. They look good. They're just a little low for my style. Maybe I would have liked to maybe see them rise up a bit, but I think that would have made it look a little awkward. But again, we have the off-road stuff back here as well. Kind of got like this nice metallic bumper or this silver bumper. And you have as well the orange tow hooks. Very, very nice. For some reason, the mosquitoes love it, and me as well here. So we're gonna get out of here shortly. But we do have this nice XRT Pro badge. It's more of like a sticker than a badge, and it feels like it can come off pretty easy. So you're gonna wanna be careful with it. And then last but not least, let's check out the trunk space. Hopefully my vehicle doesn't get invaded by bugs, but this is part of the review, so we have to show it to you. But so check this out. It's got a ton of room. I can easily pull this. I don't know if the captain's chairs is fully out of the way, but I could pull this and kind of give it a push. And there we go. You can see just how much room you'll actually have if you fold these seats down. I don't really need to do that. There's a little bit of storage under here, not too much though, but you can definitely fit a couple of things if you're in a pinch, or kind of lift it up and have like maybe a little bit of a higher access here, which is really cool. But yeah, automatic tailgate, you name it, to put it back up, it's just as easy. It's nothing automatic, but honestly, it doesn't really need to be. And yeah, I got plenty of space just like this. But with the interior out of the way, let's hop over onto the interior. Let's start with the back and the third row. All right, so first up, we are going to check out the back. You can see that it is, the black interior, because this is the XRT trim, right? So we do have kind of like the nice mountain design on the rear seats here. Baby seat fits well. I have it in the captain's chairs configuration. And let's start off with checking up the third row, right? Like we can press this button right here. The seat comes all the way forwards and pretty much out of the way, but I do have to sort of squeeze to get in here. So it's a little hard to get in, but once you are in here, let's throw this seat back on me now. Let's just see how much room we have. Oh boy. Okay, yeah. So with the seat all the way back, I have enough room, but I'm definitely, like you can see, I have to take up this area right here in order to kind of be sort of comfortable or to actually fit in. But you've got a USB-C port back here, 2 cup holders, nice window as well, nice and big window actually. Same thing on the other side. It's not heated back here, but you do have kind of your own vents, and look at the rugged look around the vents. It's the same thing up front. Very, very nice looking overall. But yeah, back here it is doable, but of course for me anyways, I don't have, you know, that much spatial needs, so I can actually fold this whole thing down and have a ton more room. But let's hop in the captain's chair up here. Let me do that. All right, so let's close this door here. It's cold outside. So starting with the door, you can see I got a little bit of ambient lighting here. I do have a nice privacy screen, so very good for my daughter who's going to sit back here. So you don't have a massive sunroof or anything, but what you do have is the climate controls right up here. There's no option for ventilated seats, at least on my trim, so I can't use that, but I do have heated seats, and of course the automatic climate control back here, which is really, really easy to use. And again, we have these really nice vents as well as some speakers and microphones all around. Very nice, very quiet in here as well. Got this little drawer, kind of like the Santa Fe. Very cool. There's no USB-C storage or USB-C ports here, but you do have a real outlet one because you got some in the seats right there and there. So very, very good there in terms of layout. The seats are not power adjusted. They're actually manually adjusted, but that's completely fine. Very easy to manipulate and maneuver. So I do like that. But yeah, baby seat, like for those that are interested, it is very, very easy to get in and out. She has a ton of room. You can see even, I'm not even touching it, so the passenger has even more room, but let's hop up front. All right, so next up is the front seat. Open up the door, same thing, black interior. I like these circular door handles, 2 memory seat settings, standard door controls as well. You can see we have a good amount of pocket storage. And since this is the XRT, I don't have like the reclining seats or anything like you'll find on the calligraphy trims. And I have, you know, just the basic stuff for the power adjusted seats, but that is absolutely no issue. Again, you can see we've got the XRT badge right there in the headrest. Very, very nice. Passenger seat has that as well. And same thing, you kind of got like a mountain, or this looks like a mountain shape anyways to me, and like kind of like an off-road scape on the back. Very, very nice. Let's actually hop in, sit down. So super easy to hop in, and you're greeted by this pretty decent looking steering wheel, this Range Rover S steering wheel that I like to call in the new Hyundais. The Santa Fe had it as well. You've got like the Morse code for the H. It will also kind of change colors based on your drive mode. Very, very cool. Physical buttons for our media controls, and physical buttons for our cruise control and the gauge cluster control. Very, very good. Left-hand side, you have your tailgate button, your parking brake, your traction control on or off. You have a tow mode, and you have the auto start stop button. You can actually turn that on or off from there. And then you have your illumination control right there for the gauge cluster. Very, very nice little gauge cluster there. Nothing too crazy. I think you can edit the theme a little bit, and it will kind of switch just with the drive mode. So you can see the theme kind of changes just a little bit there. Looks pretty good though. So you can see the different themes that I have here. I have like a simple, a modern one, which I think looks cool, and then a classic one, and all these will kind of change based on the drive mode. And then I also have different terrain mode. You can see I have snow, mud, and sand right there. No heads-up display, but that is completely fine. I don't really find myself needing those in vehicles. I like the shape of the steering wheel. I like the size of the steering wheel. No problem. You do have some flappy paddles here. Some, you know, they're plastic, but again, nice to have anyways. Screen is nice and big as well. You can see it's pretty well integrated into the dash, so like you've kind of got this lip over, so it really looks like it's pushed in, and I kind of do like that design. And it's also tilted towards the driver as well. It almost looks like, though, when you go over towards the passenger side, nice XRT badge, I do like that. But what you'll see here is that it looks like maybe they considered adding like another screen, then they ran out of space, because they could easily remove this top trim and just keep it going. But again, we don't need more screens. I don't think that is the solution. No digital rearview mirror like you'll find on the calligraphy, but again, this is the XRT trim, so no issues. What is really nice though is you have this really cool off-road mode. So you can see it'll show me like the underneath of the SUV here. Very, very cool. And then you can also have, you know, like a pitch and roll. You can have your oil temperature, transmission temperature. It kind of, you know, is a little added thing for, you know, off-road trail driving, whatever you're doing, it's there. It's also got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, built-in navigation. You got like a trailing mode. Like if you're not good at trailering, you can have a checklist. So you can see installed, connect. You can do all these things and just make sure that you're doing the trailering correctly, which is something that I would probably need to do because I don't pull stuff. So to have a checklist is actually very thoughtful and quite helpful, actually. So good job, Hyundai, on that. Look at this. A bunch of physical buttons. I mean, you got your home, quick access stuff. Very, very good here. You got a favorites button, and then you have HVAC controls that are not physical buttons, but they're still at least separate from here, which, you know what, I will take. I think that's pretty decent, and I do like that design. So heated seats and ventilated seats here on the XRT trim. Tri-zone automatic climate control. So the back currently it's on, or it was on anyways. And so you can kind of control it from up here. You can also control it from the back, of course, and then you can sync everybody's temperature. Right now I got it at a nice 20 because it is kind of freezing outside with the wind, but still very nice to see. And you kind of got like these nice switches or these nice rotary dials here, look rugged. You've also got a 360-degree camera that looks really good. This is, of course, not the model that I'm driving. This looks like the calligraphy model, but still, you have it. And you got parking sensors as well, and as well as a hill descent button right there. So everything's kind of laid out kind of towards the driver. These buttons, though, are quite a reach, I will say, but not buttons that you need to press that often. You can just kind of lean up and press it. It is not a huge deal. You got a bit of storage underneath the center console here. It's kind of a weird center console. I'm finding it interesting to live with as I'm going through it here, and by the end of the week here, it's okay, though. Just the one thing is, like, I got to kind of reach my hand in here to get the storage. There is storage here pretty well. Nice wireless charging pad, 2 cup holders right there, standard stuff, 3 USB-C ports. It's pretty much USB-C ports throughout the entire vehicle, so that's really good. Little cup holder here, as well as kind of like a little extra shelf there for papers or whatever you may need. But a good road trip vehicle still. I still find that this is going to do the job for most cases. You got the start-stop button right here, and the gear selector. It's kind of a weird wrist thing that you got to do. You know, if you have arthritis or something, it might not be the best optimal solution, but it's right there and everything. You know, you kind of turn it on, drive, you know, turn it off, part, whatever it is, and you can easily access it from there, and it kind of frees up all this area, right? I do not mind it. I will say, though, that I wish this was more leather padded. This is like a really hard plastic. It's not like this where it's a little softer. So when I'm driving like this and I have my hand here, I'm constantly putting my elbow on like this really hard surface. You do feel it after a little bit, or at least I do. Maybe I have skinny elbows. I don't know. But yeah, that's one thing that's like a little weird. Cool thing, though, Bose sound system sounds very good. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the interior tour of the Hyundai Palisade XRT Pro. Let me strap that GoPro to my forehead and let's see how it drives. All right, on the road now, 2026 Hyundai Palisade XRT Pro, a very nice place to spend time driving this week. It's been just easy, right? Driving the Palisade is I think no matter what trim, supposed to be easy, and is definitely the case for the XRT Pro. Very, very easy to roll around town. You know, I really haven't done any off-roading. I mean, I can't find any trails near me or anything like that. They just don't exist near me. But I think in the winter, this thing would probably be really, really, really attractive because we get hit with all kinds of garbage. Just having something like a little bit more rugged in the winter is really going to be a big deal. It's like, that's just what I think for me anyways. Like the H-Track all-wheel drive, the suspension lift, the tow hooks, just things like that just kind of make this thing, you know, a good choice for winter driving. And it gets brutal here in Quebec, so I think it would be a great choice just for that. And then you have the added, you know, option to go off-roading and do some more fun stuff, or like a dirt trail or whatever it is. Maybe it's not the full off-road thing, but still, it does have quite a bit of speed. It let me put it in sport mode here. It does have a V6, so I mean already that's pretty impressive, and we like to see the V6 back. No hybrid system, but that is coming soon, and I can't wait to check that out. But let's give it a little bit of beams here. So a whole bunch of turbo lag. But yeah, I mean, it gets going. You know, it doesn't seem like it enjoys doing any of that. But yeah, sport mode, the suspension kind of livens up a little bit. The responses livens up a little bit. Same thing with the steering and stuff like that. So, you know, it does feel like a sport mode, and it feels sporty. But I don't know, I've been driving in an eco or normal mode, and the occasional my mode, which is where I have the powertrain in normal and then the steering in sport, just to get a little bit of a tighter feel. That's pretty much it. It does have like this hands-free kind of driving thing. You're not supposed to take your hands off, but the lane centering in Hyundai and Kia products are so good most of the time that like it just keeps you dead center in that lane and doesn't really let you bounce out. So I bounced out there because of a bump, but other than that, like it's been pretty good, pretty solid. And yeah, visibility is good as well. I don't have a digital rearview mirror. You're gonna get that on the calligraphy trim, so that's fine. But yeah, decent visibility. I like the height of the vehicle as well. I like that I have a 360-degree camera. You also have like this off-road page that you can get to that looks, really cool. And if you do find yourself on the trail, you can see your pitch and different temperatures and all the different things that you want to keep an eye on when you're off-roading. Ride quality is also very decent as well. Like, I really haven't been bounced around too much. I found that the calligraphy trim 2 years ago, or 2023, it was really good, but also at times really, really bouncy. So like you'd hit a big bump and you just kind of do this. But in the XRT, it kind of feels good. I mean, it doesn't really hurt. I could definitely do a road trip with this, absolutely no problem. Long distances wouldn't be an issue. Obviously, again, the hybrid would make those long distance road trips even better because you could go so far with these hybrid vehicles now. So I think that's going to probably be the choice for most people, but still, I think this XRT is a fun option for pretty much everybody. I mean, it looks good interior wise, like I said before, it could be a little better. Maybe black isn't necessarily the best looking color, but still it's completely fine for what it is. The seat comfort is also really good. There's no massage seats, and I don't have the ones that recline. Again, that's all for the calligraphy trim. So these seats are completely fine the way they are. The lumbar support's good. The power adjustment's good. I also have 2 memory seat settings, so like that's all that stuff is just blends in. It's a very well-equipped vehicle for being the middle of the trim, right? We don't get the dash camera that comes with the calligraphy. That would have been cool to see, but again, not a huge deal. I think if there is a very popular demand for that, Hyundai will bring it to, this version of the Palisade and possibly other vehicles in the future. I do think that's a good idea because there's a lot of detail in there, and to not have to buy an aftermarket one, it comes with the vehicle already. It's kind of a huge plus, right? I also love the little turn signal. When I put the turn signal on, I see, the camera, so it's got like an additional kind of blind spot assistance here, which is always really, really good. That usually is what you find on the calligraphy. Usually Hyundai keeps that for those, but here we are with the XRT trim, kind of the middle trim of the pack here, and we still have that camera, so still really, really good look in there. And that's why I say it's very well equipped. I've got ventilated seats. Another thing I did not expect to get in a middle trim from a Hyundai, but still very, very impressive. I mean, the XRT, definitely has earned its right to be in this mode, and I hope to see Hyundai kind of flesh out this idea a little more. I feel like this is kind of them testing the water. What do you want? And I feel like there's more in the tank. I feel like they could go a lot longer or like a lot harder with this thing, with the skid plates, maybe with the locking differentials. Really truly make this thing kind of like a staple in the off-road 3-row SUV market. There's not a ton of competition there, but the competition that is there is pretty fierce. So they're going to really have to step it up if they want to take on the big boys. But still, I think the package we have here is excellent. And yeah, it's just been simple. And at any level, I think the Palisade is going to do that. So the simplicity of driving this thing every day, I've loved it. Let me know what you think, though. What do you think about the driving? How do you think about the feel? I try to give you the POV shot so you can kind of see what I'm looking at, see the road, see the steering wheel a little bit, and kind of get a glimpse of what it would be like if you put yourself in my seat. So yeah, let me know what you think, and let's head on over to the outro. So the 2026 Palisade XRT Pro is really good at being a 3-row family SUV, and from what I got to see, it's probably going to be decent at your little off-road trails. I think it's one of the boldest entries in the trim, and I love the new design. But of course, I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or anything like that. I will absolutely get back to you down there. If you like this video and this kind of new format, different angles that I'm testing out, press the hype button, leave me a like, and if you really want to see more like this, press that subscribe button because it helps me out so much. That being said, I'll see you the next week. See you in the next car. Take care.